So
Hey,
this
hello.
is what this is called, the Night of the Seven Kingdoms? Oh, because of Brienne getting knighted by Jaime.
Welcome everyone. I'm Oxnard.
totally-
Welcome to our Walking Dead discussion.
Oh, no. Was it that bad?
I was getting Walking Dead vibes.
I know.
How
It's
you guys
very
doing?
close to
Dropping the WD.
that. Oh, damn. No, you did not.
DKs.
Oxnard. The DK.
That was loud.
I don't, the mic actually didn't get blown out, but my eardrums
I was
did.
far from it.
Yeah, you have to adjust the gain or something. It still peaks. But
Oh,
it's
it
not
gained
as bad.
that.
You gained
This is
favor.
Boss.
In case you hadn't noticed. Boss, how many beers have you had so far?
3
that's
little
it.
ones.
In the span of
3
20
little
minutes. I'm drinking some Tito's handmade vodka.
Everyone, you don't want liquids that you're ingesting to be handmade.
I think we talked about playing Mario.
Because those gloves aren't
Probably.
clean.
I didn't record that.
And why do gloves
No-
need
no
to
one
touch
would
your handmade liquids? I don't get it.
Touch my handmade liquids,
There is
people.
no such thing as a handmade liquid.
I hand make some liquids almost every day.
I got some handmade liquids.
You
know
could
what
say
I'm talking
hand.
about?
You could say hand squeezed, but there's no squeezing in
Oh, it's hand
vodka making.
squeezed.
Oh, it's hand squeezed
Right?
and rubbed.
Well, in my
It's
in my
grains.
homemade liquids,
It's
there's
grains.
hand squeezing going
There's a
on
lot
for
of
sure.
squeezing.
To be sure.
Not in vodka.
Speaking of homemade liquids and squeezing, Arya Stark is a slut bag.
Suddenly trying to become a seductress for some
I
reason.
that
Okay,
all right.
so
that was bizarro.
my one.
Because she's still a little girl.
Here's
in my
the thing.
mind. You'll
Here's the
always
thing.
be my little girl, Arya.
We're all
I-
talking over each other. Let's.
I know. But hold on, I have one thing to say positive about the scene.
Yeah.
Is I understand that
You do Gendry too.
maybe you'd want to have sex before you
Oh,
die.
sure.
I get it.
But could you have sex before you die? I feel like that's the
Sure.
last thing on my mind.
No. That's the first thing on my mind.
That's
I'd be
number
more
one,
like-
Dexter.
Yeah.
I get that too. It's the last
Yeah.
thing on my mind. We're about to fucking die.
Yeah. I'd be more like Davos talks about this, I think, in the might have been before the Battle of the Bastards happens. He's walking with Tormund and with like their routines that they have before a battle. Because they all say, all right, everybody get some rest. What? Get some rest? Nobody's sleeping, you
Yeah.
fucking jerk off. You just gave a speech. Jon Snow gives a speech in this where they're looking at the table. All right, yeah, here's Winterfell, here's the army. The dead don't stop. The dead keep coming. They will never stop.
They
They
don't
will
sleep.
kill us all. They don't sleep. They don't eat. They don't fuck. They don't stop. It's just okay.
They don't
thank
sing
you.
stupid
He's
songs.
been saying the same thing. It's like get broken record over here. Hey, how about some words of encouragement?
and
Okay.
then Brian pipes in with a pretty
I
important
want to
piece
keep
of
going with
information.
this.
Oh, yeah.
Finish the
Hello?
Arya scene. Finish the
All right,
Arya
anyway.
scene first.
Anyway, but I'd be more
can
like
go
Davos
on to that.
shitting my pants far away from camp. But anyway, we digress. All right, we'll get to this. Our boss wants to go back to the Arya scene.
We need to
where you see
discuss
some
this
Arya's
first.
side boob.
Obviously, it's disturbing.
You think that was her actually?
Because all I
nude?
see on YouTube when I'm
might
looking
not-
at Game of
probably
Thrones
not,
videos
actually.
is little pictures of her as a little kid, like, oh, smiling,
Well,
all
how much time has
nice.
passed
Ugh.
in the show?
That's
time?
what I mean. It's so it varies.
Yeah.
Now-
Sometimes it's like it's been years. I think at this point.
Now,
in
do
the
you
show,
think
they say.
that was a body double?
I
Yeah.
thought that.
I think
I
that
think they
too.
CG'd her face.
I
on
I also hope that.
She's in her 20s now, isn't she?
I feel like there's
Oh, I
some
know.
disgusting like exec who is like, man, I gotta see that kid almost
waiting-
naked. Oh,
I've been waiting 10 years for this.
That's the only reason I see for that scene because it's totally forced.
It's really weird.
Isn't it forced, Oxnard?
Oh, yeah, everything in here is for.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's like the past 2 episodes. Like
I
she
wrote
was
this scene
friendly
28 years ago.
with what the
Everyone's
fuck's his
talking
name?
over each other.
What's his name?
What? Gendry.
Gendry. She was friendly with that guy. I get it. You're friends. You were going to the wall together.
Well, I saw it more as a brother-sister relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Well,
he was way
well,
it
older
is
than
Game of
she
Thrones.
was.
Yeah, exactly.
He was
What?
way older than she was, too.
Yeah, he's
and it
like
was weird.
45.
But
and
no,
she's
at the time.
15.
This
I
is how
think.
I would have done that scene.
Wouldn't have had it.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
Not
if you,
omission.
if you got to do it, you got to make that. It's going to be awkward for both of them.
Yeah.
Make it awkward. This was just awkward in the wrong way. This
was
is
very-
and
We
it was
were
very,
awkward.
very cringe-inducing.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was weird when she
And
was,
just the
when she was
swagger.
just watching him when he was
dipping things
yeah,
into
yeah,
wet
yeah.
places. I
A
was
lot
like,
of
what is?
sizzling happening.
Make me a spear.
Oh, I wish I was that barrel filled with water right now.
Wink. I need a spear made.
Spare me.
She might as well just said that.
I don't. But the look she was
I
giving
know.
him, it wasn't even like I was like, oh my god, I've
It's
never
like-
seen a
That's
hairier
like level 9
eyeball.
whore looks.
Yeah.
Like, come on, fuck it already.
I mean, it was so bizarre, but she still is like a little kid. I mean, even to Gendry, she's got to be like, it must be so confusing for him. Oh, but you're Arya Stark. When he found out who she was then, and then everything that they've been through together, it just didn't seem like it was ever going to lead to anything romantic, even if that's what one of them wanted.
No,
now
that's
here
probably
it's
what
just, so then she's
some
so...
fans wanted.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that's what
Well,
they're
you think
doing.
that? Well, then, if anything, they should have given them the Tormund Brienne.
Now here's the ultimate insult.
And that's probably never going to happen.
Never.
Here's the ultimate insult. You know that.
Here it is.
You're
You know,
insulted, boss.
hold on. You know that the porn industry is gonna do that scene.
I think they probably have
They've
already.
done Game of Bones.
But hold
haven't
on. But they're ever gonna do a better job because, I mean, if you're having sex with a faceless person, wouldn't you want them to show you that they could be whoever they could want it to be?
Isn't that what that deep fake thing
If
is?
you're gonna go with this, go all the way, is what I'm saying. She could be any woman, right?
Wow,
She's a
Cindy
faceless
Crawford!
person,
Can you be Walder Frey for me, Arya?
right? But don't I have a point? Should she mess around with that first? I don't know.
You mean to not be a virgin?
Just a thought.
You mean to not be a
No,
virgin anymore? Or
just to like.
You think
know,
Gendry wants that?
provocative?
But
Okay,
wouldn't that be
you want to
even
have sex
weirder?
with this person? I guess she needs the faces. Though,
I feel
so
like
it doesn't
also
make sense
wouldn't that
unless she
be
has the
even
face.
scarier?
It
to
would be
Gendry?
scary, but she's scary.
Does he
She's supposed to
phantasm?
be scary. She's a
Imagine if
faceless
suddenly
person.
she had the face of Melisandre.
You ever
That
see
would really scare-
Phantasm?
No.
She's supposed to be
It's
scary.
like old horror, but that's the guy. He was forget his name. He's from like another dimension, and he'll transform into a beautiful woman, and then lure you into a cemetery, and then while having sex, he'll reveal that he's like this old 80-year-old man. Then he captures you and turns you into like a little person in another dimensional vortex. Those movies are really weird because you never knew what the hell you were really
Don't
watching.
have sex. That's
Yes.
the message.
Yes.
But yeah, that was very creepy. That was very off-putting.
That's all
Arya
I
has
have to
this
say.
disturbing level of skill and swagger and ability now
Yeah.
that I don't fully understand how this materialized from getting the shit kicked out of you by the waif, not
stabbed.
She should be dead inside.
being blind, getting mortally wounded almost.
And now she can throw dragon glass
Not,
daggers
yeah,
perfectly. in
not
the
really gaining like we didn't see the training and see how she would have attained all these skills to be like an expert assassin suddenly.
I
I mean, she's the ultimate weapon now.
I asked you in the text, like, do you really have a firm grasp on all the faceless men stuff and what was going on there?
no.
Right?
Also,
Doesn't
it's
it just feel like
okay? I get it that they take the faces of people who die at the house and everything to use them and everything. There's a certain skill in acquiring faces from people you kill and everything like that. Because the faceless god wants faces. That's what we learned from that. A name is given,
And
name
you are
has to
no
be
one.
delivered, a face is needed. Yeah.
But that was the whole problem, Oxnard.
But that still would look like shit. You look like Hannibal Lecter walking around. and
well, they
everything,
have some
wouldn't you?
magic related
I
to
guess.
I-
But-
Ethan Hunt couldn't even do what they
it. But
do.
the whole problem
Get that reference?
is that he was training her
Mission
to be
Impossible.
no one. And then at the end, she's like, I'm Arya Stark.
And he's like,
cool, man.
Yeah. He
but
gives
that's
a head
not.
nod.
But remember, it's like that's not even supposed to be Jockin. Jockin died. Jockin was never anyone because all faceless
Yeah,
men.
that's
are
not
no
Jack.
one.
That's just he just wears that face
Yeah.
almost
Why?
just for her, I guess, or for the audience, I suppose.
Yeah.
But that was a fuck
So
up.
her mutation into this bizarre character, seductress little girl.
Like when she fights Brienne.
You ever see the movie The Orphan?
No, parts of it.
Okay,
I've seen
well,
parts of
the
it.
the twist. Spoilers in that movie is that
She's
the
the
little girl,
mom.
the little girl has this rare disease. She's actually like 30 something.
Oh.
And at the end, the dad is drunk, and she pulls this thing where she puts on makeup, and it's like this little kid trying to seduce, and he's like, "What are you doing?" And it's like really creepy.
Yeah.
It gave me that vibe, because then what happened in that movie was like, "This is really weird."
Yeah.
Oh,
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't know
not
that.
a great
That's
movie,
nuts.
but it's one of those nice thrillers you watch, and it's like 2 hours. It's like, oh, that was
This
you
is
know.
a nice thriller.
Yeah, it's like I like a good thriller, has a good build up.
I'm in a mild
a good
sweat.
amount of thrill.
Yeah.
It's like a Lifetime movie except better.
Yeah, step up.
Yeah.
Lifetime
Something like
Plus.
See, look, Gendry's
He's hot
plunging.
and sweaty in the black.
Yeah.
He's pounding metal.
Take that metal.
Look.
I'm hammering it.
Look, then he slides it in.
Oh, hissing.
Oh yeah. Yeah, look how fucking turned
The
on she's
most
getting.
provocative sound to hiss.
See, the only thing is he's still wearing a shirt. He shouldn't have been wearing a shirt while
Oh, and
he's
he's
doing
like
this.
he's like jiggling it
He's
like
like,
you're jiggling your dick
yeah.
after you piss.
Nothing is hotter to women than a good after-piss dick jiggle.
Jiggle.
Oh, look at that guy's jiggling his dick. He just took a piss. Did you just have a piss? Oh, yeah, I love when a bloke has a wee and then jiggles it.
Look how long he's jiggling it. Oh,
He's practically slapping the
You're
bowl.
supposed to be doing that in church.
must be girthy.
These are the old bags in the pew. Talking about the priest.
Oh yeah,
Pissing
real
in the
cute.
holy water.
Also, what is this weapon that she wanted made? It's
The
just
spear.
a spear.
This is
She
what I
was
was
beat
thinking.
up
She
by
make
that
my wife-
quarterstaff.
She invented the ultimate weapon.
I guess she
I
knows
was
how to
thinking
use
she
a
wants to
quarterstaff,
be
so
the
she wants
one
it.
who kills the dragon or something.
She's gonna chuck it.
And she was asking these weird questions. How do they move? How do
But
they...
does she know the dragon? That the dragon is there? There's an ice
Should.
dragon?
Everyone should be pretty up to date about what they're about to encounter.
Yes.
And then I was
Here.
thinking, is she gonna dress up as a white and like pretend
Yes. I know.
to be
I
one
thought
of
you were
them?
gonna say she's gonna dress up as a
Like,
dragon.
is this going to become The Walking Dead, where they just cover themselves in bones and
Oh
guts?
man, I thought she was gonna come out as a dragon.
So yeah, that's my other issue.
But
I mean,
the dead don't have faces you can take. They like
I guess
shatter
not.
when you kill them.
Some
so.
Yeah.
do though.
I don't know. I just thought it was weird the questioning.
But if the Night King controls them, maybe he knows who isn't. You know,
That's
in
what I
his
was thinking.
control.
Yeah. That was just a thought I had. No
Yeah.
way that's gonna happen. If it does,
But
oh
Oxnard
my
mentioned
God.
something when we were texting. It's a big deal. Like the Night King,
Everybody get
he
ready.
just launched the spear. Remember how he launched that thing like
Yeah.
amazingly?
At the
like
flying dragon.
Man, this guy
Not
has
the dragon
and
sitting down resting.
beyond
for Drogo.
controlling all
Yeah.
the dead things around him. He has an incredible talent of throwing spears.
He's a machine.
He's
a spear-throwing machine.
But obviously, like Oxnard said, that
nonstop. I can't
like
stop.
Oxnard pointed out, that's a huge issue. So what if we have 2 dragons? He's gonna do that 2 more times.
He's gonna do it immediately. He's probably just gonna
Take
walk
more
up.
dragons!
Okay, take that one.
Oh, there's Jon Snow.
Why
there's
haven't
Daenerys, there's the other
haven't we
dragon.
discussed how we're gonna prevent this from happening?
Well, what they should have is we know they have trebuchets. Mm-hmm. Now they should have wildfire,
Yes.
balls of wildfire to launch into the enemy. So this way, you keep your
Great
dragons
balls of
safe,
fire.
Keep the dragons away from the Night King.
Goodness gracious.
And you're burning the army up with wildfire. Tyrion knows about
I
wildfire.
thought like a really cool thing Gendry should have done is make little spiked balls of dragonglass that they can launch with the trebuchets and
Yeah.
just rain it down
like
on them.
Yeah.
like shrapnel bombs or something. Of
I'm
it.
not impressed with the preparation going on here.
No.
Basically, all they did
no.
was they
Stabbing
stuck
bags.
some
Yes.
dragon glass in like the walls, so
Okay.
that like if the whites try and climb,
Like they could have.
there's dragon glass like sticking up,
But
like
it needs to
barbed
pierce
wire
them, right?
almost.
It's not like they just touch dragonglass, they die. Has
It
to be-
looks no, but
I don't know.
when Jon Snow kills that White Walker, that's what it looks like. It looks like the second he touches it, it like shatters.
and that was with
Okay.
Valyrian steel.
Yeah.
Even. And when Sam stabs him, I
Yeah.
think
the
when-
same thing happens.
I don't think it was instant. I think
No?
he screams. He's like gives some hellish
like a little
shriek.
girl.
Yeah. Ouch!
High-pitched
And,
scream.
So I think, like Oxnard said, the issue they didn't talk about any plans. What's your strategy? Because they learned obviously from Hardhome that this is hopeless. Having a battle against the dead that he's gonna raise whoever
They're just
dies.
standing around saying how
it's
they're gonna die.
absolutely pointless.
Yeah.
yeah. That's
So
all
my
they're doing.
thought is, shouldn't you like maybe send people to try to take out the Night King somehow? That's what I.
No,
thought
that
of.
is the plan.
Yeah.
That is the only plan because John mentions
But-
that
Bran's
the
gonna be the
only
bait.
chance we have,
Before
we're all
this
gonna die
happened.
unless we can get to the Night King and then think. So basically, they're going to use Bran as bait in the weirwood forest, by the weirwood tree, I mean, the Godswood, and lure the Night King,
like a fish.
a fish out of water. Marco.
But here's what I'm saying: they had
Oh,
they had
That's your thought, though.
they had
Oh, so anyway,
many,
they're going to
yeah.
use Bran as bait. Sorry, boss. And then Theon's going to be there, and that's the way they're going to try and expose the Night King.
Right.
Otherwise, you're just going to hide behind the hordes of dead. Anyway,
But my thought was, they had all these pointless scenes in these first 2 episodes. They could have had they had people go out and try to scout. I mean, they have dragons that they could fly around on and look around with.
Oh, you're gonna risk
well,
that
also,
again?
but Bran can just get in crows and ravens.
That too. Can't we scout and come up with a plan to maybe maybe we could send people and try to kill the Night
think
King
they
on the
imply-
way.
oh,
I mean,
I don't
obviously
think
it's not
that's-
going
it's
to
way
work.
too hard,
It's not
yeah.
going to work, but
They
at
should
least
still
they could
do it
have they
anyway.
could have tried that, because a battle against the dead where he's just going to raise anybody who dies is kind of just, it's not the winning solution.
Yeah.
They want to
You know,
shatter him. Shatter,
but-
shatter.
So they could have did something like that where, you know, I don't know. I thought that.
Instead, we get The Walking Dead, where the people stand around in
Yeah.
a settlement waiting for the walkers to come. And
Yeah.
then
And the
they
viewers
talk
have,
about
yeah.
stuff.
we have to endure
Yeah,
the
remember
waiting
that?
too.
They could have called just this episode Winterfell. Why is this one called this just because Brienne becomes a knight? The first one's
Yeah.
called Winterfell. These two episodes should have been merged together.
There should have
Yes.
been
cut
one
the
episode.
bullshit,
Yes, it should have been one episode.
and make it like the first
There's only 6
40
episodes.
minutes.
We get these 2 fucking shit episodes?
after 2 years of waiting.
Yes.
Yeah. They're an hour long, tops.
I get that they
Nothing happens.
I
Stuff
get
does
that they
happen.
resolve
Oh, it's just
No,
like
but we already
most
know that
things,
the
but-
dead.
Oh, I
the
see.
Here's what happened. We know for sure that the dead are coming now.
Thanks to the
And that
map.
Jon Snow knows that he's the heir. And that's it. And they're just shoring things up at Winterfell, getting
hope-
ready,
I hope
waiting.
what happens
What else happened?
is they're going to lose this battle, and a lot of people are going to die, probably. I'm guessing Wormtongue's dead very soon.
Oh, for sure.
I think Daenerys and Jon are going to somehow get separated, and they're going to start going on their own path. And what's going to happen is that because they didn't finish their conversation about him being a Targaryen for whatever reason,
She's gonna burn him. She's gonna turn on him.
no, I think there's going to be some resentment that builds up after they're separated, and then it's going to culminate in like maybe Jon has to kill Daenerys because maybe the Targaryen blood is boiling, and she's really going. Maybe after this, she loses this, she's going to fly south and
Yeah.
try and kill Cersei.
Maybe.
I always
they
thought,
should do-
He's gonna try and stop her from doing something like rash.
They should do something crazy.
yeah,
But
Well,
they-
we were
they don't
talking
have
about,
the
like,
balls, Oxnard.
like if Arya going back home to Winterfell. Like the more I think about it, I was like, why did she do that? If Cersei was on her list after she came back and killed Walder Frey, why wouldn't she just go right down to King's Landing?
Well, she was, and then she found out that Jon was back,
Yeah, but
and he
come
was the
on,
king of
you've
the
been
north, and
training
so she turns
for
around and goes back. What would have been really cool is if, like, we don't know what happened to Arya, then, like, you have all these things with Cersei for, like, half a season, then all of a sudden, boom, you find out she's been dead, it's Arya the whole time.
Yeah, they could have done something crazy like
And she's
that.
been, like, manipulating everything. That'd be so fucking cool.
Instead, we have
I mean, that's an
Littlefinger
entirely different
bullshit.
story plot. I mean, many things would be different going back to the 7th season. But
But it's funny how these episodes, like, it really made me go back looking at season 7 and just realizing, wow, this is where they went wrong, and this is where you start seeing the things
there was
falling
there's
apart.
still really, really great stuff in there.
That's the
really
problem,
cool.
is that you know this battle stuff is going to be really cool.
like Battle of the Bastards is like one of the best. There's some episodes.
It's really
I mean,
good. I watched it
even in the
recently.
bad season when they do the stuff with the Sand Snakes, and we talked about this in the like kind
The
of
battles are good.
Yeah.
pre-season episode
Yeah.
where there's like a lot of stuff in those later seasons that's like fucking incredible. Some of the best stuff of the whole series, and then there's some of the absolute worst shit.
Yeah,
that
just
is in
cringy
the entire
lines,
show and stuff that they obviously like fucked up, or some weird stuff that like, oh man, imagine if like Lena Headey and the guy Jerome Flynn who plays Bronn like didn't have these problems, what would have happened? So it's like logistical things and budgetary things
Mm-hmm.
that like if they didn't have certain issues with certain actors or with certain
Like we had that
monies
awesome,
or whatever, there could have been some really, really great stuff.
we
different
were
stuff.
talking about how the Direwolf pack could come back, and they had that
Yes.
cool scene last season before Arya went north when she
Yeah,
sees
with
Nymeria.
Yeah.
And so Nymeria knows
Yeah.
that she's going up there, and I have a feeling maybe they follow them, and then they're just waiting around. So I'm really hoping there's a
Well, we
cool
did see
scene like
Ghost
that.
in this episode.
The wolf pack could
Ghost
come,
reappears.
help somehow.
But no one pets ghosts. Like no one's. Hey,
He just
John, you
stands
still
there.
got ghosts for like 2 seconds.
Go-
Varys had no lines at all.
Was he even in this one?
Yeah, he's walking
Yeah,
around
I
in his
thought that-
robe looking at things. The
Yeah.
smartest guy with his spiders and his birds all over the world. He has these spies. Well, what happened to that? What's going on? He's just now.
Kind of useless now.
Also, everyone's like,
Spying's
why is
over,
Tyrion-
Oxnard.
What happened to Tyrion? He's supposed to be the smartest fucking guy. They keep saying, oh, you
Yeah.
made the right choice. He's the smartest person in the world. Oh, you couldn't have made a better choice. Do you understand how lucky you are? What a great choice you made, that Tyrion Lannister is Hand of the Queen.
And think
oh
about-
my gosh. Oh, it's the greatest thing ever. He's wrong about everything. Why do they keep having him fuck up?
He's just walking around still.
And he's just confused and stupid.
Think about
now,
like
if
how
that's
cool...
going somewhere.
Yeah.
Well,
Why is it happening? Even I don't understand. What's the point of it?
You think of Tyrion's story like with Shay and his father, and he was Hand of the King, and then he was Master of Coin, and he helped Blackwater, and his whole trial scene and the trial by it's such a cool story with all these points and things that happen. And then after that, the show just kind of made him. He met Daenerys, and now he's just like this
it's
boring
downhill
dude.
from there. It's downhill.
Yeah.
Once he gets involved with Daenerys, and she leaves, and he has to start taking over. It's all downhill. He makes like everything backfires on him. All decisions, even if you think they were like the right decision to make or they were good, it always backfires. Then when they come to Westeros, he's outwitted by his sister and Jaime. What? How is that possible? All these things he keeps doing keep going wrong. Every decision blows up in his face. How could it be?
Theon's story kind of fell apart. He had a really interesting arc, and then he was able to just rescue his...
They basically just said, my sister... Oh, yeah, well, she's done for the series. She's going to...
But even the way, like,
she's going to go... She's at Pike, so she can
really
heal.
easy.
Yeah, it was stupid. Because now they only have 6 episodes, so they're rushing. They're also rushing through things. That's
right, because it's rushing, but then it feels like nothing's happening.
If you didn't want to rush, or you're making these bad, like weird timeline decisions, like the battle at that Frozen Lake episode with the most bizarro timeline ever, and weird show decisions about like
Gendry running.
The White Walkers, they don't swim, but then how do they chain up the dragon?
Yeah.
To pull it out of the water.
Where'd they get the chain?
Where'd the chain come from? Why are they just standing surrounding Jon Snow and the group that went beyond the wall for this stupid mission anyway? They're standing there for how long? Days?
Well, Gendry had to run back.
Well, here's the thing.
Gendry runs.
Then they have to send the Raven. Daenerys has to get it. Fly up there.
No, here's the thing.
I can see the dragon flying being the fastest part of the whole thing.
No, they say that the Night King is basically like a green seer, so he knows Daenerys is gonna come. So I think that's sort of the explanation for that.
I understand
is that he's expecting her to come.
Right. Well, we don't know
save them, and then he gets a dragon and he destroys the wall. That's people justifying the weird decisions of the episodes. There's no information given to us in the show that he can see into the future or know what's going to happen, or that he has visions. He can like break boundaries, like he touches Bran in the vision, like he can see that stuff in the vision, but that's present. That's while it's happening. So there's no evidence that the Night King can do that. Well, I think that's an interesting theory. I like it. Yeah, and it makes sense. It's nice
within
when things
the world.
make sense, isn't it?
Yeah, but isn't it? But that's fans. That's nice. Fans had to come up with that shit.
Yeah.
They had to justify the bad writing
that is
so
all
to
I
make it better.
That's all I request, is that things make sense.
Yeah, provide evidence. It's just subtle stuff. You shouldn't be like, oh, I think it happened because of this, but then I really have no thing to point it to. So, by the way, this conversation between Daenerys and Sansa, I think it's the second conversation where someone interrupts. Did you find that
always happens. They're always getting interrupted.
Yeah, this guy.
It's like just as they start to get to like the good part of the conversation, or like the most important part.
Right.
A horn blows.
The writers
in the
can't think of
distance.
something.
Or a maester shows up.
Now this is going to need some good.
Interrupts.
This is going to need some good writing. Oh, have it be interrupted.
Yeah.
Yes. We don't have good writing.
Oh man, we almost got to the good writing part. Also, is Sansa in love with Theon now?
No, he just saved her, so he's happy.
It's like a brother.
I don't know. It might be more.
I don't think so. I don't get why they're so happy he's here though. Like he's gonna defend.
Well, no,
Bran.
but I mean, she's
You're putting
happy.
him in charge.
No, but that's what I mean. She's
Defending
personally happy that he's there.
Fucking put the Hound on Bran or something. Somebody formidable.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Somebody has no... He's who's
It's like,
faced...
oh, thanks for volunteering, Theon, but, you know, we'll think about it.
Also, the Hound has fought the dead before.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he knows what to expect.
Like the Hound, one of
How
my
to kill
favorite
them.
characters from the books and the show.
Yeah.
I don't even remember his scenes or what he really
Well,
said.
he's sitting...
He's
two
just
of my
sitting
favorite
around
characters in the
loathing.
show. Two of my favorite characters, Beric Dondarrion and the Hound, are... what Arya and the Hound are talking, whatever, and Beric Dondarrion shows up. And then Arya's like, I'm not going to hang around here with you two old shits, and then leaves. End of scene. What?
Like, why not?
Why?
Think of the history of these two people. Sit there and talk. Don't go just bang Gendry because you're a virgin.
I don't want to die a virgin. I'm gonna fuck you.
Yeah, there were a lot of scenes. They should just cut the fat, man.
All right, so I'm gonna go through our text because
But
You're meant to hate the fat.
the issue. I think the major issue with these episodes was that they were so adamant about, okay, we'll have 2 episodes and then we'll start the battle. That was the huge flaw in this writing and this planning. They felt like they couldn't start it until the 3rd episode, which was garbage. Whoever said, hey, if you're listening, whoever thought of that, you are garbage.
Oh, man.
oh man,
You
And
don't need
I
to
almost
be.
got upset here. I was like, wait, are they playing this girl had the dragon skin?
No, she got
phase?
burned.
Yeah, she just got
literally.
burned.
Yeah.
I was like, what's going on?
Sometimes
The
little-
actress who played Gilly is like so incredibly pregnant in the in this scene.
Oh, is
Yeah.
she?
It's crazy, yeah. Because I was like, wow, man, what's going on here?
No, remember,
And you
she's
could
the
see, you could see like she's wearing a very obvious. I mean, I'm not trying to say this. I mean, she's clearly pregnant, but you can see she's like bigger
Fuller.
in her face, fuller face, and then she's wearing like a big flowy shirt. And I was like, man, she's barely gonna be in the show because she's so pregnant.
Yeah, no, if you look at that actress in real life, she's actually like really, really pretty when she like.
Well, she's not covered in dirt. You
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
And, like, yeah.
Wildling
And
dirt,
wearing
plastered
rags.
dirt.
Like Sansa
I
has that
bet-
very statuesque look, but then I looked at the actress. I'm telling you, look it up, and I was like, oh, well, okay.
He tapped that.
He likes those teeth. He's all about those big British teeth.
I love an overbite, man. I don't know what it is. Girls with an overbite. It's adorable.
I'll mention some positives.
Sure.
Tormund's still awesome.
Oh, Tormund's the best.
He had the best
He's
scene.
the best person in the whole
Did
episode.
Tormund actually get to drink any liquid? Or is he just dumping it all in
I
his,
just
in his
love-
beard?
To him, that's him impressing Brienne.
Yeah,
Yes, yes.
He's like, I'm gonna
Where's
tell
that
the most
tall woman?
impressive story I can, which is me killing the giant. Then I snuck into his
Yeah.
wife's bed.
It's the wildling
I
way.
suckled at
See,
her
this
teat.
is the thing. When
That
I
was
saw,
awesome.
when I saw,
I believe that was
when the
true,
episode
actually.
was starting and it said brief nudity or something like that, I was
Tormund.
like, please let it be Tormund's ass or something.
How much beer have you had? Please.
But no.
He got down on his knees.
It was Arya's side
If
boob.
there is a God,
No, but here's my thought
Tormund's
process.
ass.
My thought process
if God
is.
exists,
My thought
please
process
let me
is-
see Tormund
Here's my thought process, everyone.
screamed to the heavens.
My thought
Oh
process
yeah, please give me your
is.
thought process.
After the first
has an ass.
episode, it's like, okay, they've wasted time with this first episode. If they're telling me there's nudity,
It's gotta be a
it
red-headed
seems like they're
guy's
gonna be
ass.
wasting more time with a sex scene. Okay, that's the first. That's the first hint that I get before watching this.
Never heard a more urgent
So my
plea.
immediate reaction is, okay, if any 2 people are gonna have sex, that it could be slightly worth the scene. It's Tormund and Brienne, because they're gonna die. Might as well.
Could have been Tormund
Some-
anybody.
Maybe somehow Tormund convinces her. And I don't agree with that, by the way.
been-
I don't think that would ever happen.
Could have been
But-
Tormund and anybody
but,
or anything.
You know, the writing's already questionable, but so anything's game right now. So I thought maybe that would happen. Maybe that was the nudity that they
Give the fans
mentioned.
something.
But no.
Well-
Arya, for some reason.
If it says nudity, then there's partial nudity, which I think implies ass.
Says,
'Cause
if
you can-
it says incredible nudity, then you're getting Tormund's
all those
ass.
shows on
If it
TLC,
says maximum nudity,
I mean, you're not going to see anything but just like a carpet.
all the shows. Yeah, exactly.
carpet.
It's just gonna be. It's just covered with beards. It's just beards in different parts. Wait, TLC says nudity in it?
Yes, Elite Assassin.
Huh? Got very quiet after Boss left.
I was trying to.
Please!
He was. I've heard people begging for their lives with more
It's like
energy.
he's making me yell because I have to yell to keep up with him.
I know. I had to lower the gain. No, then we were talking.
Please let it be Tormund's ass.
We were talking about how watching the show it makes you think back to the books, and you do remember all the awesome things with the books. How cool Euron is in the books.
Yes.
All these characters that
the stuff with Dorne that's still gonna happen down
Dorne
there.
apparently is wiped off the face of the map. I don't even like. It just doesn't exist anymore. No one talks.
Forget
about
about it. It's over.
They just left Dorne. I mean, Dorne. Remember, it's like all desert, most of it, and it's like that open society. It's very cool. You could have done some cool stuff.
No,
there.
Dorne is No, I mean, there's so much stuff that's going to be left for the books to handle. It's going to be really, really cool.
Did you see the article? George Martin, he's locked himself in a wooden cabin.
Has he?
Yeah, so he can finish Winds of Winter.
Nice.
So he's, he knows what he's doing.
We talked about this. Take as long as you have to take. It is what it is.
But I was saying,
don't feel pressure from outside people because that's not how you make something that's
No, that's how you get True
that's
Detective
good.
season 2.
Yeah, exactly. And
is the third season done?
Oh yeah.
Is
That's
it
been
good?
done. I liked it.
Liked it? Okay.
I did. It was really good. I thought it was good. I thought the performances. Mahershala Ali was fucking awesome. Stephen Dorff was so good in it. Like that was a surprise to me. It was an excellent season. It was extremely well done. It was intriguing, but it wasn't anything like shocking or like mind blowing. It
Right.
all makes sense. It comes together, and it's kind of like a little like cheeky, kind of like middle finger almost to like the true crime stuff, like the how to make a murderer stuff and everything, and all these kind of things that like
Making a Murderer?
yeah, making them and like the NPR stuff of the podcast,
Serial?
and yeah, it's kind of like a little, like thumb of the nose of them.
What beer is this, boss?
Oh man, boss!
Alive!
Who's driving boss home? Oh, he's gonna crash here, I guess, tonight.
Oh, God.
Screaming in his sleep, and having horrible night terrors about
String of Tormund's ass.
about Torment. But I thought that was the best scene, and I also loved when Brienne was getting knighted by Jaime. That Tormund stands up and starts clapping.
Yeah, that was great.
And when they're like, "Oh, somebody let's sing a song." That whole thing was stupid. But it's Tormund. I was waiting for Tormund to belt out a song.
That would have been great.
that
I
would've
thought
been
that would have been
hilarious.
awesome. And they had a great opportunity. That would have been awesome. Instead,
It's Pod.
he's like, "No, I'm not going to sing." I thought it would have been really cool there, actually, to have something suddenly out of character happen for Tormund.
Yeah.
Oh,
And he sings like a wildling,
like a wild
song
song
or
so it's
something like
about
that.
fucking a bear or
Yeah.
something like that.
Like he could have done something funny like that, or even if he sang an emotional song.
Right.
I mean, you tell me that wildlings don't have? They must have. They clearly have their own vibrant culture that we learned about, like when John goes beyond the wall. Even in the show, they go into it. But there's so many different groups and clans and kingdoms and races and languages and everything. There's a lot of different cultures up there that come together. Tormund must have had something interesting and emotional and something that even he could contribute. That would have been out of character, so it's like surprising in a funny way, but then also everybody can like it takes everybody unawares, but then
Unawares.
that's always throws me off.
He's
throws
one
me
of the
off,
only
unawares.
good characters
But,
left, Dexter.
Everyone else other favorite character.
Everyone else is
but the
fading
character-
away.
The actors are there. It's the writers. The writers
The
have
actors
to
are doing nothing wrong.
provide
I did
something
really
for these
like the
people.
scene where Sam gives the sword to Jorah Mormont. I really liked that scene.
Yeah, so
That
I
was
think
good.
Jorah
Yeah.
is going to be one who dies, but I think he's going to discover something.
He's
I
not
was thinking-
gonna
I
die.
think he's gonna do a tumble salt before that, though.
Well, I think something's
Oh,
going to happen
absolutely.
with the
Signature.
Because remember Valyrian Steel? It's like they made it with Dragonfire, which is like the hottest thing. I think something's going to happen with the undead dragon, and it's going to reveal something about Valyrian Steel as to why it hurts the Walker. Maybe
Well,
they'll do a
the
reveal like
sword
that.
should make you think he's going to kill the dragon then?
Something
That is a big sword.
yeah, or maybe like the dragon kills him, but he's maybe with fire, but it turns out like I don't know, like maybe like runes show up on the sword, just something.
That sword is like I don't know, for some reason
sword's awesome.
it's Heartsbane.
Fucking
its
huge.
name is.
Bastard sword.
It's like way bigger than
Yes.
than John's sword, because John's sword is a bastard sword. Ironically, I mean, I know that. Yeah, it is in the
It
books.
doesn't look like a
No,
bastard
no, but it doesn't. It looks like a
long
regular sword. But this sword is like a fucking great sword.
That looks like a bastard sword.
Yeah, remember in,
bastard
Great
sword is a
Great
big sword. I thought.
A bastard sword.
I thought a bastard is a short
it
sword.
usually can be one-handed, but it's usually two-handed.
like Boromir.
If you're really strong, you could one-hand it.
I don't know if
but
that was a bastard
it's
sword, but
usually
Boromir had a
either way,
sword you can
and
two-hand
it's
with
broader.
and one hand.
So what's Andwheel? That's a long sword, right?
Andwheel, I don't know
Flame
what
of
that
the
is.
West.
What
That's
about-
that's the sword that's reforged from the shards of
I don't
Narsil.
know. Oh, that's almost like a great sword. That's really long.
What about Gandalf's sword, Grandling or
Oh yeah, fuck. Gan
I honestly
Glamdring.
Glamdring.
That
or Glamdring.
that's
Glamdring.
more like a long sword, maybe. But it is really big. That
What
sword in the
about
movies?
What? Well, like ice.
Needle.
Ice is a great sword, right? In the beginning, and
Ice.
ice
That's his
is
executioner.
Ice is almost like William Wallace's sword in Braveheart, like
Yeah,
Mel Gibson's
gigantic.
Braveheart. It's
Oh, yes,
it's,
that's
it's
a great
almost
sword.
like that.
Yes, that's a great
Yeah,
sword.
yeah. And like a Brienne's
I would
sword.
say ice is bigger than the
What's
hard
Brienne's sword is like.
A long
I thought.
sword.
See, I thought a long
She
sword was
one-hands
basically
it.
a regular sword, and a bastard sword was more of a shorter version.
No, bigger.
Okay.
Bastard
I thought a
sword's bigger.
bastard was in between short and long sword.
No,
and then,
in between long and great sword.
Okay, I see. Thank you for clarifying.
At least in Neverwinter Nights it is.
In terms of like the singing,
Yeah.
And that's
stuff?
where all my knowledge comes from, everybody.
I appreciate. No, because I misunderstood for a long time. I never knew. But and when I saw Heartbane, I was like, wow, this sword is fucking gigantic. And then Sam even says like, I can't wield it, so it's like
Gonna hurt
pointless for
himself.
me
Yeah.
to have it. And then
Who's gonna
even if
hang
he
it up?
does end up fighting,
Yeah.
and then it's like the emotional aspect of it is good. Like Jorah is redeemed. I really like it. Always like. That stuff always gets to you, like that's why like Field of Dreams
good,
always
yeah.
makes men cry because like the father-son thing.
I mean, he lost
and,
his Valyrian steel
What,
sword.
you don't experience that? That always
I don't
gets
watch
people.
stupid movies.
But he
Oh
also.
man, I love
and-
Field of Dreams.
and
I don't care how stupid it is.
Sir
I
Jorah
gotta see it
also
again.
he didn't inherit his Valyrian
Well, that's what I
steel
mean, the whole-
sword too,
yeah.
so that was
and
a
his
big
father
deal.
died
That's what
before
made
he
it
had a
bigger
chance
deal,
to.
yeah.
They never were able to make amends. It's like that whole aspect of it.
Right.
And like so, then he has like he sees Jon Snow has the sword, but he's gone past it, Jorah. Like he's like, no, I don't deserve it. You deserve it. Even
Right.
the thing he's talking to Lady Mormont, the girl, the young
I
woman.
like that scene
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was right before that. That was awesome.
because you
Gonna
forget,
die.
like, oh
Yeah.
yeah, they are cousins, they're in the same house.
Yeah, exactly. I
Yeah.
thought that was so fucking cool. I love one of my favorite things is when in the series is when she is advocating for Jon Snow at Winterfell when they declare him king in the North,
Right.
and I can't remember who she's chastising, but some other house,
Maybe an Umber or something?
like that. Yeah, it might be
Jesus,
Umber's.
cheeky.
And then
Well, the Umber suck.
and then he
remember?
gets up.
Oh, I like John. I don't like John anymore.
Yeah,
John,
exactly.
with John,
But the
I
old
forget
man,
John.
he's like, she really like rips into him, and he's like, Lady Mormont speaks harshly, but truly. I just thought that was so fun. She's awesome. She's one of the best
Yeah.
characters.
Now this brings up, and I'm not anti-feminism, so don't get me wrong, but I just do
if
find
he
it.
could cut off his dick and have a vagina,
before-
he'd do
before
it.
you say
He's just
anything-
too much of a wuss.
Before Oxnard says
I sit when I
anything,
pee. Dexter.
bullshit videos about Game of Thrones. But
I like the one of the guy
But-
being chased by that fake bear.
But somebody points out that feminism is equality, not
Yes.
women better than men.
No, yeah, that's
So go,
not what it is.
Oxnard.
So yeah, but I just find that like all the guys are like
'Cause they're
seem,
definitely not
like
better,
depressed
right?
and
Hell yeah.
I'm sorry, just
you know,
kidding.
Now we're
Cersei's
to
a
the
queen,
cock.
Daenerys is a queen, Sansa's a queen of Winterfell, the
Or
Mormont.
she's Lady of Winterfell.
Yeah, but it's like, oh, they're all powerful. They never seem scared. Blah blah blah. And then, like, I get it.
Also, they
But you-
think about what they've gone through
Yeah,
and like what's happened to them. What
but
what
I
could be
don't buy
worse?
that Sansa was so smart that they, tricked Littlefinger. I don't see that happening. I remember there was that
Yeah,
scene they
yeah.
cut of I think either Sansa or Arya going to Bran asking him, "Hey, is Sansa going to have me killed or something?" And Bran tells them, "No, it's all Littlefinger." But they cut that scene because it would have proven that they would have been tricked by Littlefinger. So it seems like they set things up and then they.
I thought the whole
editing
thing with Littlefinger, it's like, again,
What was he
we talked
doing?
about things being rushed earlier.
right.
That doesn't make sense. That's rushed. Littlefinger starts the whole fucking
Chaos
show.
is a ladder.
The whole thing.
He's supposed
This
to be-
is all happening because of Littlefinger.
Yeah,
and then he's just like, out of nowhere, accused.
I'm going to make Sansa
and then,
and Arya disliked
and then
each
he
other.
suddenly just like caves in and gets his throat cut.
And then
It was
and then your brain
nuts.
starts doing that stupid thing where you're trying to come up with theories like, oh, maybe he hired a faceless man to play as him. And like, but there's no evidence for that. But you start thinking like maybe that's how this happens.
Well, no, but I mean they do. But even that's not even. I mean, even in the books they do that. Like the Lord of Bones is burned after Stannis takes over the wall.
Something
Not.
Tormund's fucking
Oh,
hilarious.
he's watching Tormund.
They call you King Killer. You know what they call me? Giants, man. Then he glances at Brienne.
But he's drinking. Is he drinking milk?
Oh, he's
Yeah, it's
drinking
the
like
fermented goat's milk.
yeah, fermented milk.
It's fermented goat's
Okay,
milk.
it's not Giant's milk. I was like, where's he getting this Giant's milk from?
Hey, could be for all fucking we know.
It's his own milk. He made it himself.
No, going back to the singing part,
Yeah.
because Amazon, they're doing their Lord of the Rings thing.
What's new with that? Did you hear new information about that?
No, I think they just started filming it. They're
Really?
still not sure where it might take place. I haven't looked it up in a while, but I do hope, because, the thing about Tolkien, like, here's one page, this is just a full song
Oh, yeah.
that a character will sing. They do it in the movies
Oh,
here
there's
and there,
lots of singing.
but, yeah, but sometimes a song will have information about something
Sure.
happened in the past.
No, the
So-
songs are about things that happen too. A lot of the
But
time.
they've done songs here, too. Remember that in the Whore Town? What was it? Mole Town? And it was
Yeah.
that one Scrumpet? What were they? A trollop singing, and then she burps
Scrump?
loudly.
Oh god, that one was like the most disgusting person that's ever existed in this show.
But it's a song.
well,
That's funny.
no,
They
she's
also
singing
have,
the burping the bear and the maiden fair.
Yep, that was it.
But then what happens is you realize in the show there are a lot of songs in Game of Thrones. There are a lot of songs.
Yeah.
I mean in the book series. But what you realize is in the show
Did you get
they
any more beer?
I fucking hope not.
What's so...
Oh, he's switching
Just
to bourbon
took
now.
his pants off.
No. I'm surprised he left the room to do that. Usually he has no
You're
problem about
welcome.
just whipping him off. They're just recycled the same songs in the show.
Oh, yeah. Look, here's Treebeard's song about the Entwives.
Treebeard
Treebeard
sings a
singing.
whole song.
Yeah.
Imagine that. Imagine that in a Broadway musical.
It takes 3 days.
I'm Treebeard.
I've got those boughs. I've got the roots that
Who
hold
lives
me
in a forest
down.
and is a big tree? Treebeard Squarepants.
SquarePants. Wait, I don't know what to say SquarePants to, sir. So you just left it in? Like, look at this. Here's a 3-page song. Holy shit. What
You
is
know,
my
Tom Bombadil's busting out the tunes
Yeah.
as well. Oh, Gold Betty, Bombadil.
Bombadillo, Tom Bombadillo.
Merry doll, dairy doll, me hearties.
Be Hardee's. Yeah, so obviously we'll talk about Lord of the Rings, right, when that comes out? If it's good. No,
Yeah.
if it's good or bad. It might be better if it's bad, because I think when it's bad...
I think we thrive
On bad
in the
things.
negative.
I was listening
Yeah.
to the old Walking Dead stuff when we really started hating the show. It's some of the best stuff we've ever done. Because we're barely talking about the show. It's like we're miserable because, like, oh, again this week, nothing
It was
happened.
such a chore to watch.
Where is
it.
the sun
It was.
over your head? Like,
Oh,
why
yeah.
is this song playing by the Bee Gees? Like, what is happening? Carl's an idiot and his hair's annoying me.
Quarrel. Quarrel.
So,
So what? So was she like, "Hey Gendry, come to my dungeon where I shoot arrows"? Was
to
that
my fuck
was that how this started?
Fuck
How did he find her? This is where I shoot arrows
Just follow
down
the
here
trail
in
of pussy
in the
juice.
storage bin.
He's like,
And
what are
he's
you
just
doing?
eerily standing behind
What are
the
you
gate.
doing standing right where I take a shit? This is my secret shitting spot.
see, that looks like a dragon killing thing.
But I kept waiting for it to like come apart, so it's gonna be like
Well,
two
in the
separate
diagram-
things.
In the diagram, yeah, it looked like
Right?
it could come
Oh
apart.
yeah,
Yeah.
it did. Yeah.
So then she can like wield it, or like, is there a chain in between so she can like kind of swing it? I don't know.
That
But
would weigh it
but
down a lot.
but now
I'm looking forward to Scholar Gladiatoria, what he has to say about this.
who the
stuff.
hell is that?
That guy does all the weapon videos. It talks about swords.
Oh, I've never seen that. I gotta watch that.
Oh, this scene. Oh, I was like, this is getting
Here-
really weird.
here's-
And then she tells him to take his pants off.
Here's
like,
the
I'm not the Red
logistical.
Witch.
Here's the
It's
logistical
so
issue
weird.
with this scene. Did you see her fucking tunic? How do you get that off? Nobody knows. It's gonna take at least 10 minutes in
You know they
reality.
gotta stink. No one's showering. He's in a forge
Oh,
all
yeah.
weak.
Yeah, and she's got all those scars, man. That's not a turn
No,
on.
if you remember, she was brutally stabbed
Oh my
several
God.
times.
Yes, she
and
was-
then the next episode, she's leaping off balconies and stuff.
That's definitely not her. I don't
Yeah.
think.
Hopefully
Now
not.
I think
because it's grosser
I think that's
if it
not
is.
not that because she's like too young or something and couldn't do it still. I think she's in her 20s, like I said, but
just
I think she
grosser.
just didn't
I
want
see
to do
her
it.
as a little
It's
kid.
gross.
That's what. That's same
Yes.
for me. That's why
Everyone
I thought it
does.
was like
Everyone with a soul does.
It's like,
Gendry's dead.
Do you feel comfortable with that?
With what he did, no. With what,
Exactly.
exactly.
what you
Exactly.
can do about it.
I don't care.
It's done.
Do something about it.
I got video games
Look,
to
I
play.
just thought like I wonder if that's what like for fans or something. Who wanted that? Nobody.
No,
People
yeah.
wanted
Lots.
Brienne and
There's
Tormund.
a lot
I
of
told
weird
you,
people
the
on
fat,
Tumblr.
Brienne
Remember?
and
disgusting
Tormund.
director.
That's where the weird Tumblr
exec.
art is. There is some disturbing Brienne and Tormund artwork out there that still haunts me. I've seen it. It's haunting.
It is.
I am blown away that someone would take time to paint
Do you not go on the internet?
these things.
Do you know what?
I don't look up. I don't go on Tumblr and I don't look at these.
Do you know
things.
what Rule 34 is?
No.
If something exists, guaranteed there's porn of it on the internet. You just gotta know.
Why is
where
it Rule 34?
It's like this stupid meme thing, like, oh, there's all these rules to the internet, but Rule 34.
This is why I come
Using
here. This is what
buzzwords
the internet is
again.
for. Yeah, that's an internet.
And there's another
buzzword.
rule that-
That's the internet buzzword of the episode. Rule 34.
And there's another one where might be Rule 43, but if like
Uh-oh.
any male or female
Hit the
character,
alarm.
you can,
Buzzword.
you can definitely find a sex swap of any character ever made. So like a female Jamie, a
Cool.
male Brienne,
Bowsette.
Female Onion Knight.
Bowsette.
Bowsette, some new amalgam.
Female
of
Onion Knight.
that. Yeah,
That's
I bet
what
it's
I
out
wanna
there. Or you
How
can,
thick is that beard?
No fingers, baby. That's how I like
Extra
it.
fingers, maybe.
She just stubs
his fingers
you
are onions.
all night long.
Oh, yeah, get a hand
Which
job.
stub you want?
Get a
Huh?
Give me a hand
Come
job
on
with with your stubby fingers.
You want the onion too?
Always got a sack of onions on me.
Disgusting.
What was I going to say? Oh, Bowsette is from... We were playing that Mario game.
Yeah.
Because if you're Toadette, you can get a special item that makes you...
Bowser?
Oh, makes you Peach.
Oh, and
But they were saying... But then people were speculating, well, what if Bowser
took
puts
it.
it on?
You know what's funny?
And apparently it's some hot
And then,
chick. I don't think that's what would happen.
Then, like you said, the next thing is porn of it, hentai.
Oh, just
I
tons
don't know
of
if
porn.
we've talked about this, but I was watching clips of like
Porn.
older Game of
Tell me
Thrones
more.
clips.
Yeah.
And Tyrion and Jamie are so ridiculously blonde.
Yes!
And now they're
Yeah.
brown hair. Why is this?
Well, the
Why
cold
is it-
makes your hair dark.
Is it because they're supposed to be older?
No, yeah,
that
but
what
when you go
happens?
whiter...
I don't know.
Lannister, yeah, they're supposed to be golden-haired people.
Yeah,
They
they're
have
not...
super golden hair.
Like,
in
is
the
it
other
supposed to be like they're
episodes.
losing their
Like Brienne.
Lannisterness?
Brienne
I don't know.
has Lannister hair.
Yeah. Absolutely.
No,
Yes.
they got like
none of the
bleachy hair.
Lannisters have hair that Lannister
Well, Cersei,
should have.
No, Cersei, her hair got darker too, right?
Yeah, everyone
Yes.
Wow.
did. Everyone's got darker.
It's supposed
But
to be-
Tyrion's is like black.
Yeah.
With-
Did you see
with
the pictures
orange
of,
highlights.
like of the pictures of the inconsistency of like certain monuments
Mm-hmm.
and castles and how
Yeah, like, yeah.
stuff that you don't really notice unless it's pointed out side by side. But
But still, why is
it's
there...
not. Yeah, it's
What's the excuse for that?
yeah. You kind of want the showrunners to.
You could even just
consistent.
reuse, like, the master shot.
And they do
if
some
you
good
wanted
stuff, like
to.
the theme from the very first episode they used in last week's episode. Bum, 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 dun, 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 dun. And it was the same thing, like Robert Baratheon coming to Winterfell, and that was Daenerys.
Yeah.
The one that Robert
I mean, there's
Baratheon
some
wanted
some
dead.
attention to detail is outrageous in the show. Like
Like the
so many
costumes.
little things, like the sword Jimmy has, and all these like little items and everything like that,
Yeah.
and the costumes and everything, things that are never talked about or discussed or mentioned or anything. It's like so good, but then all of a sudden they'll make some glaring thing like that.
Now Sam's sword in the next episode is like little rapier. That's not the sword I gave you.
I'm gonna poke you with it.
Take this to the dragon. So she's going down to the crypts.
No, she wants to
I
fight.
think
She
a-
wants to fight.
A twist
Lady
they could
Mormont.
do is you can have him raise the bodies in the crypts, and then everyone in the crypts just dies.
Well, that's what we talked about.
Yeah, okay.
In fact, that was a theory that we talked about
Okay.
going back to before the season started. That's something that's going around, and I've been telling my wife that like, oh, there's a theory that like if the Night King can raise the dead, that everyone in the crypts is going to come to life. And remember we were talking about that, like Ned Stark's bones.
Yeah.
It's going to be like comical. But even at the end of this episode.
No, but I meant the twist being that people who think they're safe down there are the first to die.
Oh yeah. No. But I'm saying I think you're right because I think was it at the end of this episode or was it in the previews for the next one? Daenerys says the dead are already here.
Oh, okay. I didn't see the preview, so
Well, spoiler alert.
okay. Yeah, just do something like that.
So I think that
this point,
I think
I-
that's an obvious thing that's going to happen.
Yeah. Do you think like maybe half the cast is getting killed off next week?
Honestly, while we were talking about this this afternoon when we were texting, I hope that they all lose and almost everyone dies, and then at the end it's like a loss. Oh man, what was it? I was watching like a video online and someone was like, "What does the Night King want?"
Maybe Brain's working with the Night
But
King.
they were saying, what does he... It's more about, like, Oh, I think you sent the video. Like he doesn't want something to happen instead.
Yeah, like he wants to kill Bran because he doesn't want him to do something.
Like the Night King has a
Well,
secret.
He stores all the memories of humanity.
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
know.
but that was like saying like that's not necessarily correct, and Bran is capable of making mistakes even in the knowledge. He already has
Yeah.
been incorrect because if he doesn't have the full picture, he can only make assumptions about the
Yeah.
things that he's seen. So in this one video, this woman was talking about how Bran's like Google essentially.
Yes, he
and
doesn't know what questions
if he doesn't
to
know what
ask.
question to ask, then you're not going to find the right information. So the example was
So she
given
took-
where she
yeah.
thought Jon Snow was supposed to be Jon Sand because he was a bastard in Dorne, not of the North. But
And
he's
she-
actually the legitimate child of Rhaegar and Lyanna
And she
Stark.
mentioned how Tyrion talking to Bran is a big deal because he's learning what he's learned, and
Yeah.
maybe he'll, since Tyrion's supposed to be so smart, he'll come up with some questions that Bran should look into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That actually will mean something in the next episodes. That would be good.
Yeah.
That would be something interesting.
Yeah.
That the writers could write about. Hopefully, maybe they're
These
smart.
things are going to be
I'm
left in the
pulling
books.
for the show. That's
These
the
things are
thing.
going to be
Hey,
left in the
I
books.
want it to be a good
don't,
show.
Is
Don't
this-
expect anything too deep
Oh, I'm
or
not.
very revealing
I'm not.
in this final season. It's going to be very straightforward, I think, where you're going to have, I think, multiple episodes of this major battle.
Really?
I think it's going to be like, how many episodes do we have left? 4?
Four.
Yeah, 4 episodes?
And they're 80
Two
minutes.
at least, I think, are going to
generally.
be the battle.
Really?
About 80
Yes.
minutes.
I think that's a mistake. I think you do the battle in one
No,
episode.
I'm not saying it's
I
right.
think
I'm saying
they're-
that's what I think is going to happen.
They should have
Oh,
the battle,
no.
and they should, retreat, and there should be more
I think the
fighting.
battle should have started this episode.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
It should have started this episode.
We see this montage now with Pod singing. Like, reminds me very much of the speech in Helm's Deep as they do the cuts to the different people.
And Pippin singing to
Here's the
to
issue.
Denethor.
Yeah.
Here's my issue with this montage. I love a good montage, everybody.
You need a montage.
but
I gotta have a montage.
but all of these useless, pointless scenes could have been the montage.
Grey Worm,
That's how we get rid of them.
Take you to
Okay,
Isle of
and
North.
we move on to the meat.
We protect you. Like Daenerys is just gonna fucking let him leave.
Yeah, Daenerys.
Oh, I got my kingdom now. I don't need
Daenerys
any soldiers to help.
is a
keep
crazy
it.
fucking bitch. So, do we want to get into like our
Pants?
theories here?
I thought that's all this we've been
I think
doing.
we've just been shouting like
So-
maniacs.
Well, he's
All
been
right.
shouting a lot.
But
Okay,
you
so
have to shout to keep up with them then.
so where I think it should be going is
Well, I did. Remember I said that I just explained it before, how John and how Daenerys is probably going to go nuts and John might have
you
to
did.
kill her. And maybe, who knows, maybe after... Because isn't the thing for the Azor Ahai, whatever? He wields a sword forged in his heart or something? Like maybe he has to
he
stab
kills
her.
his lover.
Yeah, so maybe he has to do that to Dany, and then that's how when he becomes... And then he
yeah.
seats the Iron Throne, so he's now the king, and he's also the prophecy. And then the credits roll, something like that.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
can see it
that's
going
true.
that way.
The last shot could be like
I
him,
think-
like kind of grumpily sitting on the.
It's kind of funny
Iron
it's Jon
Throne.
Snow.
that could potentially be the ending to the show.
Well, it's
Yeah.
the same ending, I believe. I
He's
mean,
the son
at
of
least
Ice
as
and
of
Fire.
right now.
No, different. It's got to be different.
Well, not
This
according to
this
George
show's,
Martin.
This show's garbage. So this got to be different.
No, but how they get there is drastically different. I mean,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
so much
Oh, yeah.
happening. in
Lady
the
No,
book.
it's got to be a
Stoneheart,
different ending too.
We don't even really know what the night. There's no real Night King in the books yet.
Yeah, there's
He's
not.
he's a legend, the Night's King.
And imagine you get to a
And-
chapter and it says the main character is the Night King, and now you're in his head.
Oh my, yeah, right. It could
Like, that
happen.
could happen in the
And
books.
there's a whole thing about how, like, I was watching a video about like the secret Stark bloodline, where like the whole Night's King legend that Bran, we talked about this too, when they're at that castle and the guy that married a White Walker lady or whatever.
That's what's
and
so
they-
funny. I always remember the name of the castle, except when we're talking about it. It was one of the first castles built at the wall.
Nighthawk,
Nighthawk, something Hawk,
Nighthall,
Raven,
Nightfall.
Raven Hall. I don't know.
I don't know. Anyway, you know the one. But
The nerds do.
But basically, it's like the theory. I'm summing up very badly, and probably incorrectly, is that they're related to the Night King, and it's a very Lovecraftian thing.
Right.
So like that you have somebody
Scared of your
bad
origins.
in like some like atrocity or something, like some extremely dark secret in your family history that's kind of almost ignored and then you'd have to discover, or you have to ignore, or like try and run away
Or like
from,
learning
or
it
something.
just changes everything.
Yeah,
you
right.
think.
Fundamentally changes you.
Yeah.
And so, like, Bran is most afraid of this legend when they're staying at that castle where this person, like, supposedly existed and everything. Whatever. I forgot what my fucking point even was. Moving on.
I like it. I like it though.
Oh, so I'm saying in the books. No, so
I have
I'm
no
saying,
idea what he said, but he likes it.
No, so in the books, like, that's all that exists of the Night King.
Yeah.
Like, as close as you get to what is in the show.
There's the
as
Night's
of right
King.
now is the Night's King. Yeah.
King.
So
which is a
we don't
human.
really know what's beyond, what's
Yeah.
going on beyond
Right.
the wall fully yet. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Butt
and what's
sex.
coming. Also, like, you have Jormun's horn. That's the thing. Jormun,
Oh, the one-
that horn in the book,
Yeah.
that was with the
Euron.
Night's King thing. A Stark and a Wildling, Jormun, they came together and stopped the Night's King from what they were doing because they were sacrificing something. You don't even like specifically say
Babies.
what they were, but no, they don't even say that though.
gotta
Like,
be
there's
babies.
all these things that most likely, but there's all these like, unknowns in the story.
Yeah,
and
it
so
could be
like,
so drastically
so
different.
then who made the legend? Who passed down the legend? Do the Wildlings know something then that the Starks tried to cover up? That was like the whole point of this
Yeah,
thing.
yeah, I
This
watched
theory,
that
which
too.
is fascinating. And like the Jormun's horn is supposedly if you blow on it, Mance Rayder claimed that he had it, but it wasn't. It was
Yeah.
a false horn. That when you blow it, it breaks the wall.
What's that
All this
horn
kind of
that
stuff.
Euron
Then the horn that
brings?
Euron has, that's supposed to bend dragons to your will.
Okay.
So when you blow, and when the
kills
guy
him.
blows it at the king's move,
Kills him.
It kills him.
Yeah.
It
burns
like
him from the
burns him
inside
from the
out.
inside out.
Yeah.
There's so much fucking insane shit, Lady Stoneheart. There's
And
so
the-
much
and the
stuff.
way the book does it, it's very creepy.
It's so
It really is like a Lovecraft
And
thing.
George Martin, yeah, he's a huge Lovecraft fan. So
My theory for the ending is that there's gonna be
Butts.
obviously
Tormund ass.
there's gonna be fighting where humanity's losing.
no fighting though.
I
And-
disagree.
And
No
then
fighting.
John's gonna somehow make a deal with the Night King.
That was what I originally thought.
Okay.
Now I'm
But
changing my mind.
No,
Still
no,
could
no.
happen.
John's gonna make a deal with the Night King, but
Let's make a deal, John.
Daenerys and Cersei and all those other
Cersei.
fuckers, they're crazy, and all they want, all they want is their throne. They're gonna say no deal. They're fucking zombies.
No dice.
Fuck the zombies, and humanity dies. That's my ending.
I had another cool idea. Is remember how they, the
They
sparrow.
don't make the deal.
It's possible.
Remember that religion, the sun religion, and then they blew him up with the wildfire. Cersei did, and then Tommen jumps out a window because the princess died.
Yeah, remember the that's the
The sparrow. What are they? The sparrows.
yeah. That's
So I
the-
was thinking, what if
yeah.
at the end?
that's like the main religion of the whole place.
What if at the end the whole entire King's Landing just blows up because of the Night King, and then there's no more Iron Throne? It was all just doof time.
Doof time.
Buzzwords. All right, I didn't actually see this preview.
Let's watch it for a sec.
Yeah, we
No
know.
kidding,
We
you
know.
fuckhead.
The dead are coming.
I think zombies are here.
The dead don't stop. See?
Yeah, we saw them last episode.
Does
So
she have a Valyrian
this
sword?
is
Does she have Valyrian steel, Brienne?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah, she does.
Yeah, Jaime doesn't.
gave her
Jaime
the
gave her
sword.
the sword.
They melted ice and they made the two swords.
Yes.
Somehow,
She got
this is
one.
what I don't understand.
But hold on,
Okay.
what don't you understand?
With that specifically,
But wait,
is that
Tell me more.
Valyrian steel. It's like steel imbued with magic, right?
But you
it's
could melt it.
Well,
Well, I
it's,
think
yeah,
you
but
just-
it's like the recipe for making the sword is long lost.
But I
or
think a big
can't
part
be
of it
done.
is
It
the
includes-
dragon
Dragonfire-
fire.
Right.
It includes Hot
Okay.
Pie's secret spice.
Right, exactly. Secret is 12.
It's
secret hot
Nicandra.
pie
He is
spices.
the key to all this. That is what the Night King wants.
Riding in on a giant pie.
his recipe.
A flying pie.
flying saucer with a pie on it.
But Tywin has the only two swordsmiths in the known world that can melt down and reforge Valyrian steel. How the fuck can they do that?
know. It
But
was in
then
the
you
books, right?
cannot make a new Valyrian steel sword.
Because I think you need the fire to forge it.
Yeah, you need the
but you
dragon.
can melt it down.
so you can reforge it.
Yeah. Because its origins are from the
Maybe
fire.
I don't
it's-
understand that.
because the metal is maybe like imbued with magic.
Yeah.
so it doesn't lose that
Maybe.
in the. It doesn't get unimbued.
I could see that.
You know how magical
By
gold
melting
is?
it down.
Well, if you melt
It's like
down
a
gold,
plus
it still
3
has its
sword.
magic.
It's like you melt your plus 3, it still makes 2 smaller plus 3s.
All right.
There you go. All right. Thank you, Gary Gygax, for making up that.
I gotta go with Gary.
If your blacksmithing is
Go with
enough,
Gary.
if you roll like,
You
an
have to be a
18 or
master
20,
blacksmith. Yeah.
or you got a really high skill level,
Yeah.
level 10 blacksmithing.
I imagine for this you have to be very high skill level because
that
it's
would work in
Valyrian
D&D,
steel.
so I don't see why
Plus
it's any
The
different.
gall of like the sheer pressure of melting it down
that
and like
guy-
how does it?
Well,
I
that's
gotta
just
fuck
that guy
up?
look cool as a cucumber. It looks
he
like
wasn't even
stressful
fake
at all.
face. He-
I do this all the time.
Might as
Melt
well have
Valyrian
been,
steel.
might as well have been melting down a sack of spoons or something. I
I'm
don't
making
know.
tires.
Yeah,
Valyrian steel. I melted down a sack of spoons.
yeah.
They're pewter.
That's the secret. It's really no different. It's really
Specifically
spoon
a sack
related.
of spoons.
Yeah.
I
You got
collect-
that sack of spoons? Is
sack-
it
knew it
stainless
come
steel?
handy.
Oh God, no.
They're all
Good.
spoonists, the ones who know how to do it.
A master spoonist.
Yeah.
I just picture like a guy in the South like playing the spoons on his knee. He's a master. DB Weiss. Well, I know they've moved on. They've moved on.
They're done.
They're doing other stuff.
Yeah.
He
So-
seems like
so-
he's for like someone has a gun to his head offset.
No, but I
Talk
see-
about it.
No, I've been watching all these. I've been
Tell me
watching,
your secrets.
I've been watching all the theory videos. So at first I thought, no, this is a stupid theory, but now I actually believe it's true. I believe the theory that the long night never happened, and that this is the long night. Part of the theory says that Bran went back in time and he became Bran the Builder. I don't believe that. I believe that he just went back in time and he spread it around stories of the long night that made them think that it happened.
Yeah, because I'm more inclined to believe that the White Walkers actually built the wall, and that that a pact was made because the Children of the Forest created the Night King out of one of the first men, in order to like help fight the first men off and the Andals, I guess, and then. But then a pact was made, and that circles back around to that whole Night's King thing.
Maybe
Yeah.
Bran.
And then now the pact has been broken.
Right.
So
Here's a question I have.
now the punishment comes in.
Did the Whites have the horn that destroys the wall? I thought that was part of it.
We don't know who has it. I mean, in the book, we don't know who has it. Mance Rayder claimed to have had it, but it was a false one.
Yeah.
Because Melisandre
John saw it,
burns
right? He was
it.
in the tent.
Yeah, but Melisandre burns it. In the end, it ends up not being it. I think Melisandre burns it. And then the Lord of Bones... With the Lord of Bones?
But they
Or
say
some
that
point.
was
But
a
that's not
fake
the
one that she burned.
Yeah, that's not the real one. So we don't know where the real one is. I don't think we know yet.
So I heard when I was watching all these
and then
crazy
Euron
videos,
has a different special horn.
is that the
Horny
Whites helped them build the wall,
Right.
But they retained the horn as like you keep your end of the bargain or we use the horn.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, see, that makes sense.
yeah,
That
I
makes
like
sense.
when things make sense.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's fucking good and well written. We were this one guy that I'm really into now, like on like he said he points out like with stuff that he doesn't like about the show that it's what.
Hey, where do I send the wedding gifts for you and this guy? Apparently.
Oh man, he's so hot.
It's Oxnard.
His
head is
it's
Oxnard.
him. Yeah, he said. No, it's. We were talking about this earlier today, about how he says it's like there's an unfinished Da Vinci painting and like an 8th grader or something decides to go in and
Yeah,
like
it's like
they're gonna finish it.
like an emo high school kid.
Yeah, like someone with
I only
no
got
experience
black. Is
who
that okay?
Who thinks they're very good? You know, they're like in their mind.
That's the thing that's
what
annoying.
they're
like,
writing is like, oh yes, this is fucking.
I would
genius.
respect
This is glorious.
so much more of these DB Weiss and the other guy. They just said, "Hey, look, we don't have the books. This is the best we can do."
And George Martin won't talk to us anymore.
Yeah, George Martin abandoned ship.
He's
in a cabin.
He's in a Unabomber style cabin.
He was
He's
last
Ted
seen-
Kaczynskiing it up out in the woods.
He was last
to
seen
finish his book.
carrying 100 frozen pizzas and 40,000 donuts into a log cabin.
He eats
with
them
a typewriter.
frozen. He just gnaws at them. Oh,
You know, somebody was looking for
I gotta
my,
finish this.
my Game of Thrones books. I have no idea who they are. They got to be somewhere, right?
I imagine so.
I have all my Witcher books, Lord of the Rings.
You
I
got a
found
Robert Jordan book down there.
Oh, I got that from the dollar store, I guess. That's from the Wheel of Time, but it's like book 7 of the Wheel of Time.
Yeah, I was gonna borrow your books. I forgot that.
I mean,
borrow Lord of the Rings?
you can buy.
I wanted
I'm
to
sure
borrow
you can buy
Game
the
of
Kindle.
Thrones.
You
You
can
can
buy
borrow
the
my
Kindle.
Kindle. I
version.
have like 3 of them. They all have
It must be
George
around
Martin on
somewhere.
it.
You could buy like the 5 books on a Kindle for like 20 something
Boss,
bucks probably.
YouTube, audiobook. It's all there.
Yeah.
Most of The Witcher's second book I've
I
just been
feel like
listening.
I've
and,
heard most
honestly-
of the quotes on the videos I watched
Yeah.
already.
But I honestly do suggest reading the Kindle version only because they're very hard to carry around. They're so big, the
Oh
books.
yeah. And you're gonna look like a horrible nerd.
And normally
your
this is-
backpack
and-
falls
and
down,
I'm-
and all the
Oh,
dragons-
horrible
Oh, yeah.
nerd.
No, and it's better. I'm better like at retaining information with paper, like reading a paper
Yeah.
book and everything. Like I can go back and forth on something or whatever because I'm a very slow reader. But with large books like this, like when A Dance with Dragons came out and I got the hardcover. I was like, I can't read this book. It's impossible. Like physically, it's hard to read it.
I got the House
So
of
I
Leaves.
ended up getting the Kindle version. I read like 2/3 of that book on my fucking phone.
Yeah, I got the House of Leaves book here. It's paperback, but it's kind of big and bulky, and so if
Yeah.
I'm in bed, it's just gonna fall on my face.
Yeah, that's what happens. And also, if I read in bed, I get very tired, and then before I know it, like the book is smacking me in the face.
Oh, the worst is when you're looking at your phone and
Oh yeah,
yourself.
I'm like falling. You know how many Star Trek episodes I've fallen asleep in the middle of, and then all of a sudden my phone hits me in the head.
Oh, speaking of Star Trek, one of my favorite episodes I just watched recently, the TNG, is when
Kindle's awesome.
they investigate this planet and they see this wormhole and they all go unconscious and there's time loss.
And Data's the only one that knows.
Yeah, Data
I love
says
that episode.
that's fucking awesome. That episode. I love the idea of like a super advanced xenophobic alien species that doesn't want anybody to find them. I
Yeah.
think that's fucking awesome.
Yeah,
Oh, well, that's dwarves.
that is
Space
dwarves.
dwarves?
It's really
Well, wait,
awesome.
isn't that Tullus 4 in the Menagerie, or is it that you're not allowed to go there because it's too dangerous?
Which
I can't
one?
Remember.
I don't
Original
know,
series?
but-
Yeah,
Or-
original,
Yeah,
the original
TNG.
series. And
Like
Tullus 4,
there-
that's you get the death penalty.
Data says that
for
it
going
was,
to Tullus 4.
It was a time loss of an hour, but they find out that it was a day,
Okay.
and that Picard ordered Data to lie until for as long as he existed.
Well, he's
about
guzzling
it.
beer.
He's
He's
the only
blowing
one.
farts
My
everywhere.
God, I can't breathe over here.
You don't participate.
There's no
How-
ventilation down here.
How can I go my entire life without ever passing gas in front of you guys? Like,
way.
I keep it under control.
Oh shit! You just sit far away. That's all. That's your secret. The distance.
I think
I don't
gastro.
understand. Why do you even do that to yourself?
I don't have to do it.
Let it rip.
I would.
Yeah.
I guess I would, but I don't have to. What do you?
What do you
mean?
eat? Like a grain of rice every day?
Well, I have eggs. I like to eat very, rich foods.
Yeah, I can
when
smell
small
that boss
amounts.
likes to eat eggs too.
Oh man.
Might be.
I had
chicken,
eggs
too.
today, everybody. Confession.
And chicken too. Chicken is very sulfuric.
Oh, I had chicken. I had chicken too.
oh, last week I
How'd you
forgot-
know? How'd you guys fucking know what I ate?
I had a frozen
Crazy.
pizza.
Kirk is getting a massage.
I love that all the yeomen and
Yeah, the yeomen are just fucking
the original
geishas.
Series are like just
Kirk's
fucking,
got his look
They're
at that
waitresses.
pose. Oh, yeoman.
Oh, yeoman.
Oh, yeoman of my vertebrae.
I've got a knot in my
Oh
ass.
yeah, my dick needs thrusting.
My dick needs
My
thrust.
dick needs
Yeoman,
thrusting.
yeoman, sit on this. Yeoman.
Yo, man.
Yo, man.
Remember when he raped that yeoman when he was what was the
Evil.
episode?
That's
yeah, the evil.
That's the
Well, there were
dark
2 of 'em.
episodes.
Yeah. But what's the episode called?
They
Shit.
call that the
Mirror, mirror.
blacklist.
Right? No.
no,
That's when they
not
meet the
Mirror
evil
Mirror. That's
crew.
when they have
Hammer,
that's when
hammer.
they have the goatees.
Hammer,
I
hammer.
love that episode. People think it's goofy. That's a good
Oh,
one.
they're all goofy. I love them all.
No.
Go back. It's like early episode.
Yeah. Menagerie
Call
was
it
good.
The schmear.
Give him the schmear. Nope.
Mud's women.
Enemy
so
Within.
stupid.
The Enemy Within.
Yeoman.
And
yeoman.
he
yeoman,
like
yeoman,
sexually
yeoman.
assaults that yeoman, and then
I love this.
Spock's like,
I love the dog.
Did you like it?
Spock's
Yeah,
a
that was
horny
really
fucker.
weird. That's a sign of the
That's-
times back then. That's
that
Gene
was-
Roddenberry throwing in his own little thing.
Also, Gene Roddenberry's wife is in these. Early,
Oh, yeah?
she's in the
Yeoman.
Menagerie episode because she's with Captain Pike. She's the number 1
Oh,
for Captain
She's
Pike.
Scotty.
And then she's in another episode when they go and they find out that her husband or something has been living on the robot planet and he's a robot.
Yeah.
And then
Oh,
Kirk
yes.
hits somebody with a big rock dildo, and then and then later on she's not B'Elanna Torres. She's fucking Deanna Troy's mother.
I'll remember Oxnard.
And the voice of the computer.
Put in the sound effect for Star Trek.
Oh yeah, definitely. And she's the voice of the computer in like TNG and then Voyager and like all the from that.
It's just a megaphone with like a dome
Oh,
on
when you
it.
see
Like,
I love when you see them looking at computer panels.
pillow
they're like,
foam.
Oh, they're like examining something, like they're looking at a regular computer screen.
Blinking
There's
lights.
just nothing here. It's mostly it's just occasional blinking lights and some lines that light up.
Well, you-
and there's like, and then the rest is like empty panel.
you don't have Starfleet
they're
training,
good.
man.
I guess not.
You don't know. They
Like,
can't
look at what Scotty is looking at. It's just Christmas
Well,
lights.
No, there's a little vision thing.
Yeah, the little
there.
visor that Spock has too.
Oh,
like,
but
what's
it's
he
not
looking
really
at in
where
there?
he's
Oh
looking.
yeah. I'm looking at Vulcan porn, Captain. But I'm not
also a
aroused.
robot.
I meant to the ears. Anything with the ears. Ferengi stuff.
Ugh. Oh, they haven't. Thankfully for them, they never encountered
My
Ferengi.
lobes. Touch my lobes, Dexter.
If they had Ferengi in the original series,
Would have been
then
awesome.
it would have been even more anti-Semitic than it is in the Next Generation.
Caveat emptor.
It would have been very disturbing.
No, the Klingons are just brown-skinned
Oh my God,
humans
the
with
Klingons are-
goatees.
Blackface.
It's
Practically,
fine.
it's insane.
It's fine.
Look, I like it. I'm sorry. You know what I love?
I was gonna say something.
I
was
love
gonna-
Wrath of
yes.
Khan, and then I love The Search for Spock. I think I love The Search for Spock almost more than Wrath of Khan, in a way.
I gotta watch them.
There's so many...
I think I've seen Wrath
There's
of
so
Khan.
many, like... That's the one with Christopher Lloyd, right? Search for Spock? Because they're on the planet after they do the, whatever the devices that...
Oh, he's here.
Oh, wait, here he is.
Get ready.
I'm Captain Kirk!
So you gotta light him from below. That means he's evil.
Yeah. He's got some nice eyelashes.
And lip gloss.
How old is Shatner now?
86 or something like that?
Wow. And he's still doing stuff, right? Like
Oh, yeah.
like in different movies. He was in Boston Legal, right?
Yeah, that was early 2000s, I think. Though.
Yeah, that
So
was a
was
while
Jerry Ryan from Voyager. She's 7 of 9 from
And they do
Voyager.
like the CG stuff
is
for the effects.
updated
It's
on
updated,
Netflix.
but you know what? It doesn't bother me. It seems.
No, I
Yeah.
like it. It's a nice little update. Also, it still looks crappy.
Yeah, that's what I like about it. They didn't
Yeah.
try and do like George Lucas putting like tauntauns in the
No,
background. for
and
no
like
reason.
have Han Solo step on Jabba the Hutt's tail as he walks around him.
Well, that's because they didn't know Jabba was going to be a giant slug, so they just put in a big fat actor there wearing a.
No, but
fursuit.
I'm just saying, like,
so when
they
Han
do
walked
that
around
in
him,
the
it's
thing.
like, well, how do we do with the tail?
But it looks so shitty. The fact that he's walking around him, this
Depends on which
crappy
iteration.
90s CGI Jabba the Hutt.
Well, no, they've redone it like 3 times. There was the original one they did for the '97, and then they just kept doing it again. Then we got to make the Ewoks blink. Now I got to put in my Star Wars music.
Oh, I
now.
guess, yeah. I guess I realized they never blinked.
Like if you watch on TNT and stuff, you see the most recent.
I like
thing.
that they don't blink. What if they have other eyelids that move so fast you can't see them?
Not even that. Maybe their eyes just don't need to blink.
They should have made him
What's
blink
wrong with
really
that?
weird, like sideways. Like a reptile.
Maybe they have 2 eyelids. Yeah, like a reptile.
Yeah.
They're closed all the time. The second
Oh, and I
eyelid.
also wanted to say, just keep in mind,
Back to Game of Thrones.
yeah, it's okay not to.
Start talking about
It's
Star
okay
Trek.
not to like things, and we're just 3 guys saying what we think.
Oh, look,
Yeah.
overall, I still like it.
That's the weird thing. I don't
watched
hate it. I was just getting Walking
I
Dead
wasn't
vibes
watching
from
like,
I didn't.
What the fuck?
The ultimate insult is if I stop watching, which I did not.
No, this is all happening. I actually look in general. I like the episode. Okay, I enjoyed watching it. Okay, it was a good experience watching it. Just going back and looking back on it, and then when I start to think about everything from the beginning of the series on, and all the stuff with the books and all and everything else, like then I start to realize that it wasn't as good as I hoped it would have been.
Right.
And like I wish that I don't know, it sounds weird because I know how hard people work on the show, like all the stuff going into it, but I almost wish more care was taken with it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like more thought was put into it because it does seem rushed and kind of lame.
Poopy.
Yeah.
Lame is a word. Yeah. Sometimes just
That is a
lame
word.
is a
Buzzword.
lame is
hit
a word.
hit the alarm.
See, the issue when I was watching it was that I paused it several times to see how much time to see how much was left.
Oh, I did that too.
And the more I
kept
did
checking
that,
the clock.
the more I did that, the more disappointed I was.
Yeah, they're not gonna
with
get to the battle
realizing
now.
realizing that they were just gonna carry on with this bullshit.
It was like the Seinfeld episode.
Squeeze bottles. Little.
Spray bottles
Yeah,
from
bottles.
Dollar Store.
Oh, I love it.
And
It's
Star
like,
Trek.
Here's that report, Captain. Here it's on paper. It's like, what
Yes,
the fuck is
the
this shit?
paper report. It's
This is
fabulous.
like the 23rd century.
Hey, paper's good, man.
They don't have trees.
I'm sure it's not paper.
Got
It's
oxygen
like
generators.
It's replicated paper.
and I would love it. Companies. They do Game of Thrones whiskey. The Johnny Walker. Get it?
Oh yeah, White Walker whiskey.
They make this drink that Kirk's chugging here.
Oh, what is the brandy? What's
It's like
the...
a rum or something.
Is it Klingon wine?
No.
Blood
That
wine?
no. It's a something brandy. Wait, here. Well, go back and rewind it, and turn it up. He says it.
Romulan brandy?
No, it's Romulan ale.
Oh,
And,
Romulan ale.
It's another kind of brandy.
Oh, Brandon.
We
Just
missed it.
the brandy.
Go back more.
All right. Hold your horses. Keep
Hurry up.
Keep your pants on.
Here's my blowtorch on your washcloth.
Yeah.
They should have put like a sound effect, like a future sound effect for the spray bottle.
Yeah.
Saurian brandy.
Just realized I could do this.
So the doctor keeps out the alcohol? Where's the bar in this ship?
It's back there.
No, they got a bar.
In the first episode, which is the
No, Bones
the-
just likes to drink.
But no, but all the doctors do, because in the first episode and in the menagerie episode with Christopher Pike, the doctor is like comes to see Captain Pike, and he's like mixing him something, and then he's making him a martini.
Yeah, that's right.
And it's
Did
like
you ever
sometimes
see-
you just need to chat with your old doctor.
Did you see the?
It's like what the fuck?
The Amazon.
Where do you get these
Arms
olives
hanging
from?
off.
Did you see the Amazon South Park episode?
No,
Well, they made Bezos
I
look
haven't
like
watched South Park in like.
they
3
made
years.
Bezos look like the aliens from the menagerie. Just
Yeah.
like the big
with the giant testicle.
Yeah, he
They
doesn't
talk
move his
without
lips.
moving
He
their
just
mouth.
Is that
voices.
vein like that vein bulging?
Yeah,
That's awesome.
yeah.
It was pretty funny.
Ooh,
It is
Yeoman
funny.
Rand.
Now we get to the Kirk rape scene. Sorry, I
What
said
did you
rape
tell me
YouTube.
about
That
the
means
bike parade?
channel's gonna get flagged.
Uh-oh. I want this bottle of the Saurian brand.
That's what I'm saying. I would get that
Cool,
bottle.
yeah.
So yeah, that's
Yeah, that was
Then-
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. So we'll see what's going on next week.
Well, obviously the battle's going to begin. The dead are going to raise in the crypts. They're already there. Varys is in the crypts. We talked about like what's Varys doing. I know I've seen even like in the preview for the episode, Varys clearly in the crypts. I mean, in the preview for the series before it started for the season.
maybe
Fuck.
he'll say something cryptic down there.
Ah!
Maybe he'll have a line.
Oh man, maybe he'll
Um,
bone.
Maybe someone will try and stab him or hurt him in the genitals,
agree.
and it won't phase him at all.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's like,
Like
one of the
Theon.
walkers comes up, I know
Kicks
what
him
to
in the
you.
balls.
And Varys is like,
Aren't
I
there.
don't think so.
'Cause he
And starts
knows
doing
who
karate
Varys
moves.
is.
And he has like fist weapons. Like
It turns to like one of those freeze matrix, and then do the like 360 camera
oh, that'd be
action.
amazing. Just
oh
do
my
that.
god!
The show would immediately redeem itself.
Yeah.
No, but that's
They've gone nuts.
That's the scary thing is
And
that
then some kid in the crypts goes, "He is the one."
that's actually one of my fears is that they
that scene?
Everything becomes the
No,
Matrix movies.
one of my fears is that they will actually show a scene with Varys fighting,
It's the best, man.
which is
Yeah.
that
You don't think you could have a dagger?
I think
And
that
in those
would be
massive
so
sleeves of his?
I think that would be so stupid, and I think they will do it.
And one thing they did, well, it happened all the time in the books, but I think they only did it once in the show, is Varys when he disguised as like the dungeon master to
Yeah.
visit Ned. But Varys
In the
is supposed,
books,
he's
in the
supposed
books,
to-
he's like got a magical ability almost to
he
change
puts
his appearance.
tons of perfumes on because he wants people to know his scents when he enters a room. But then
Yeah.
he can convert into like an old woman. He does all these disguises so that he can
It's
be
almost
near
like
people.
he has faceless man abilities.
I don't think he does, but
No,
he's
no,
just really
but
good.
it's similar
at,
in a way.
Illusions.
Yeah.
My illusions.
Mummers farces.
That's a wig, by the way. I thought they
yeah,
had to braid her
clearly.
hair like this.
One of my
It's like
favorite things
Daenerys' hair is a huge fucking
about
wig.
this the enemy within episode is too like while this is happening, like there's an away team down on the planet and
freezing.
freezing to death.
That's right.
And when
It's like this B plot.
and when like when Shatner knows, Captain Kirk knows what that like. Oh well, he's telling Sulu actually, Mr. Sulu. At night, the temperature can
the
drop
eyeliner.
to minus 135 degrees, and Sulu's like, "That's nippy." And they keep checking in with him periodically.
Ooh.
And he's like,
Captain.
"Oh, we could really use some blankets down here," or something. Like, it's like really funny. They're just freezing down there. Have some soy and brandy, Yeoman Janice Rand.
Well, I'm Oxnard.
I'm Dexter.
That was
I'm
season
Boss.
8, episode 2.
Yeah, let's wait
The
till
Night Beyond
a
the
good
Wall.
episode.
Right?
And yeah, like I said,
The Night of
like
the Seven
Oxnard
Kingdoms.
said, heed Oxnard's words. This was a complainy episode, but we complain because we love.
Yeah, we complain because it needs to be.
And
Needs
isn't
to
that the
be.
whole point? We're just talking and
Yeah,
saying
you
what
want
we
to go listen
liked
to
and
guys
didn't
just
like.
jerking
We're
off
shooting the
show.
shit!
I'm sure that's... Well, we're Dexter, Oxnard, and Boss.
We're Dexter Oxnard.
But we are shooting the shit.
Yes, we are.
That we happened to be
In
shooting
heart.
the shit
And
Yes.
soul.
and body.
It was a good name. And if you look up Shoot the Shit, it is an awful hillbilly channel that I found. Oh my god.
Oh, really?
Yes.
A hillbilly channel.
They
Like
know how
in
to
the
do
television or... Well, goodbye.
Bye, everybody.
Goodbye.
I'm done.